You're getting sleepy. Very, very sleepy. Now, if I were any good at hypnosis, I could make you bark like a dog maybe on your drive home. Fortunately, my next guest uses his hypnotic powers for good, especially when it comes to helping you stick to your New Year's resolutions. Luke Michael Howard is a hypnotherapist in Ottawa, and he joins us in studio to mark World Hypnotism Day. Good afternoon, Luke.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Great. Nice to see you again.
I wore black for you today because I heard it would make me sound slimmer on the radio.
Oh, that was a good call. Yeah, you look very slim.
Thank you.
How did you get involved in hypnotism?
Well, hey, about half my life ago, I had a lot of bad things that happened to me. I was about 15, 16, and just a lot of tough challenges in my life. I was suicidal. I tried to kill myself a couple times. I was agoraphobic. I was obese. I was friggin' miserable. I left school early. I stayed in my bedroom. I didn't have any friends. And when it didn't work, I decided I better start living now. And we used to have this TV show called The Hypnotic World of Paul McKenna, and Paul McKenna's a big star now around the world. And I'd watch this dog and pony show essentially every Monday on primetime TV, where it'd do the usual shenanigans of hypnotising someone to be like Michael Jackson or Madonna. And because I saw it every week, I thought it was real. And one day I was going through our big newspaper called The News of the World, which is now defunct in the UK.
That's right.
And I was shuffling through it, and I saw an ad for a audio tape. This is before MP3 players and stuff like that. This is like 95. And it was called Supreme Self-Confidence. And it was about £12.50. So it's about $20.
$20.
So I had a little bit of money saved up. And this was in the day where you'd have to send a cheque or postal order off. So I got my sister to write a cheque for me. And because I believed this guy totally from seeing these shows every week, I got this tape. And every day for 6 months, I listened to side 1, which is 22 minutes long. I listened to side 2, which is 22 minutes long. And I did it doggedly every day. And it changed my friggin' life.
I mean, did you go on to get like qualifications, professional qualifications?
Yeah, so from there, I'm like, man, if this made such a profound impact on me, I want to teach this to other people. So it became my odyssey in life to learn brief therapy to make rapid change in people. So I got my master's degree in hypnotherapy, and I became an instructor of hypnosis. I went on to get my PhD in psychology. I found hypnosis was just the quickest way to get change painlessly and seamlessly in people.
If it affected you so powerfully, I mean, you attribute the turnaround in your life to the power of hypnotism in a way, or this 44-minute long tape at the very least, right? Why is there so much skepticism about it? I mean, you have a PhD in psychology. You understand what the orthodoxy is. Why are we so skeptical about hypnotism?
I think we should be skeptical on it. I often see people and they come in and they're like, oh, great master hypnotist, great Svengali, take away my problems. And I look at them and I say, I've been doing this about 16 years and I'm probably going to do it for the rest of my life. And the 16 years I've done this and however many years I've got left in my life, I've got a lot of change for people. I've helped them facilitate change. But I don't believe I've ever hypnotised anyone, and I don't believe I ever will hypnotise anyone. Because all hypnosis is demystify it, is using your powers of imagination, concentration and focus. And as a hypnotist, all my job is to guide you to get you to hypnotise yourself. And all hypnosis is just a profound sense of relaxation where you're tapping into that creative mind. It's almost like when you get captivated in a book like Harry Potter or a movie, and just for that couple of hours you're in it, you're living it, you're feeling it, you know it's just a movie, but you go around with it. But then you come out and you're like, wow, I don't want to smoke anymore, or I don't want to have that destructive behaviour, or I just feel better. It's an incredible thing.
So it isn't making someone bark like a dog. I mean, you can't make someone waddle around as though they're a duck or so. You can't do those things.
Not unless they want it. Okay. And then you've got to worry about those kind of people. When you see stage hypnosis, I do a little bit of it for fun, but it's different from clinical hypnosis. Stage hypnotists are generally in bars or clubs as an entertainment venue. They've charged people a ticket entry. The people know that they're getting into. Alcohol's available. People want to be entertained. Hypnotist then says, put your hands up if you want to be hypnotised. 50% of the audience puts their hand up. He then takes them through a bunch of tests to see who would be good subjects. They're not really suggestibility tests. They're tests to see who's going to be the biggest show-offs. So when he puts them on stage, you're like, this person's going to make a great performance. And then suddenly he whittles them down to he's got 5 or 3 people who are just extroverts and they want to show off. Which is it's kind of a form of hypnosis, but it's more entertaining.
I understand. That's more the showmanship is really what that is.
Exactly.
Okay, so with what you do and taking on health problems or the kinds of things people are likely to be interested in tackling at this time of the year, it's New Year's resolution time. How do you do that?
You're fantastic. So typically I see people who want to stop smoking, which is a big resolution, and also who want to lose weight at this time of year. And I do a lot of things, but I specialise in helping people quit smoking in an hour, and I've got a 95% success rate, and a thing called gastric band hypnosis. Have you ever heard of the gastric band weight loss? It works a lot of times, but it's very dangerous. Sometimes people can die. It's very invasive and painful. And I use a form of hypnosis based on 5 sessions where we can convince people's unconscious mind. That's not the part of the mind you're thinking now of facts and figures, because you know it's not real. But we take the back door and we convince them over about 5 sessions that we'll put a band in their subconscious. Okay. So we don't promote any diet at all, but they just feel that they don't eat as much as they used to, and they're not trying or using any kind of willpower, because we know if willpower worked, nobody would be fat, nobody would be on drugs, and we'd all be happy and having amazing sex. Willpower doesn't work. That's why 97% of New Year's resolutions break within the first 3 weeks.
The numbers are kind of dismal.
Yeah.
So how do you get started with someone who's in? They say, look, I want to lose weight. What's the starting? I don't need you to do the whole thing, but what's the start?
Great. So typically, I see people. I'm not their first call. As sad as that may sound, they usually come and see me when everything else has failed, when they've tried every diet, when they've tried every patch for stop smoking, or they've tried traditional psychotherapy or counselling, and all these things can help in a way. They come to me like, I've tried everything else, Dr. Luke, can you help me? And then I take them through to see if they'd be, because my success rate's really high, and I don't want people going out there in the world saying, I even tried that, Dr. Luke, and even that didn't work. So basically, when I talk to people, I try and get them to say no to me. I want them to say, you know what, this isn't for me. So the people I'm left with are those people that really want it. So I do everything to get people to say, you know what, I'm not ready yet. Because I know when people are ready...
So what are you doing there? What are we saying to them to discourage them? How do you filter out those people? I mean, you say, how committed are you, or what are you asking?
Yeah, well, I'm, you know, with all the therapy and hypnosis, I've learned about body language and intonation of voice, and you can just tell. When I hear people say, well, let's give this a try, or I really hope this will work, I'm like, try and hope are 2 evil twin sisters. They give you a back door. You don't hear someone saying, oh, I really tried to quit smoking, and I quit smoking, or really hoped to lose weight, and I lost weight. It's like, oh, I hoped to lose weight, and didn't work. I'm like, first thing I do is I get rid of those 2 words in people's vocabulary, and I'm like, we got to get real about this. So I beat them up a little bit with love and respect, of course, and if they're still there at the end, I'm like, yeah, man, we're going to be successful here, and we get them in.
If people can't all get into one of the classes you lead, or have this face-to-face interaction that I'm enjoying with you right now,
thank you very much.
How do you guide people to make this kind of improvement in their life on their own?
And like I always say with hypnosis, there was a study done, I think it was in the 1950s, and it was by New Scientist magazine. And this was specifically for stop smoking. And this was just on the audio tapes. And the audio tapes can be powerful, but they're only about 30% successful. And audio tapes back in the New Scientist study article had about a 30 to 60% success rate helping people quit. But then they went on to give therapy for stop smoking for hypnosis, and they had a 94% success rate. And this was based on a study by a guy called Don Dedenan, American Journal of Clinical Hypnosis, based on 1,000 smokers. So yeah, it's about really, again, empowering people to make that change. Because as great as I like to think I am, I'm just there to guide people. I'm a really great guide, but you've got to want to change. You know, it's kind of a parody. It's typical. You've got to want to change, but you really do. As great a hypnotist as I am, if you're not ready, God himself couldn't come down and change you.
It's great, as usual, to spend a few minutes with you. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you so much.
Have a great 2013.
Great, and check out lukenosis.com.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
That's Luke Michael Howard. He's a hypnotherapist here in Ottawa. His website, lukenosis.com. 6 minutes now before 6 o'clock.